It's the Cool Kids Club. You've been invited to the Cool Kids Club. It's so exciting, yeah. Justin likes monsters, yeah. And Amy likes words in the Cool Kids Club. Cool Kids Club.
Heyo, and welcome back to the Cool Kids Club. This is episode 133, and I am one of your hosts, and one of America's favorite siblings, Justin.
Hi, Justin. I am the co-host of this here podcast, and America's other favorite sibling, Amy. And it's your favorite sibling.
Sure, yeah. A number one, baby.
It's S tier, sibling. S stands for sibling.
What's up? I feel like we haven't... I've got so much going on right now.
You got a lot going on.
Just in life that it feels like we haven't done this in a while, and I feel like we haven't talked that much. It's almost this is almost us catching up, and I'm glad we're going to spend it talking about these shows.
Well, me too. Well, I've been traveling for last week. I traveled like 6 days, and you have a lot of stuff going on. I think we've told the people a little bit, but you're buying a new house.
I am buying a house, yeah.
So that's very exciting.
We're going through that whole process and selling our house, and it's just a lot. Plus it's a crazy time at work. Yeah. And I'm finishing up grad school, so anyway, no one wants to hear about that.
No, they do, Justin. They do. They care about you as a person. But yeah, we've been surviving on just memes sent to each other. Really, I was really firing them off last night to you. I sent you about 6.
Yeah, well, you'll do that, and you tend to stay up later than me, so I feel like I usually get him in the morning, so I know
you're already asleep, but I'm just like, he's gonna like this when he wakes up. Because the later I stay up, the funnier everything is to me. Like sometimes it'll just be 12:30, and I'm laying in bed just silently laughing about something because Scott's asleep, and I'm just like, I gotta send that to Justin. And then I'll read it the next morning, and I'm like, that's good, but like. You were really...
That's not that
It's
funny.
not that funny. Yeah. But anyway, none of these things are what we're talking about today.
On top of all that, we're starting another podcast next week.
Oh, yeah.
2
we're starting
episodes
another podcast.
dropping next week.
That's right.
Out of the Loop. Rocky, Legally Blonde.
That's right.
Headed your way. Follow us on Instagram.
OOTL pod. OOTL.
OTL.
Yeah. Follow us over there.
Movie podcast.
We're gonna get sued. Big O'Reilly's is coming down on us. Big automotive parts. We are we're starting a new pod, 2 episodes next week, so we got a lot going on. But
we're still going strong on the Cool Kids Club.
We're still cool kids.
We're still cool kids, and
always will be.
I have to say today is, I feel like it's the opposite of a wrestling episode where I'm going to kind of school you on something because we have a topic today. I'm going through these notes that you put together.
Which is, as you all know, Justin's normally our historian. He's our show historian. And I am the editor.
The educator.
He is the educator.
However, I'm looking at these and I'm realizing I have never seen a single episode of like 95% of these shows, and the ones I have seen are either ones we're not talking about that much or not enough to really be able to talk about it at all.
Justin, what are we talking about today?
WB teen dramas. And I've been waiting a long time to go WB. Now you're gonna tell us about these shows. My main thing is I want to talk about the racist frog.
Well, sure, that's going to be at least half of the show. the minstrel frog.
It's a minstrel frog.
It's not great. And now I will say, when I was watching these shows, I did not pick up on that as a kid.
No, I didn't pick up on it until Chappelle called it out. On his show, and then I was like, that is racist.
It is racist.
I mean, it's like a mammy.
It's it's like when you're watching an old Tom and Jerry, and you're like, ooh, you know. But this is the 90s. This is not Tom and Jerry. Like we should have known better.
Well, and I think it's crazy because as you're getting ready to talk about, when the WB was launched, it had it was programmed
for black audiences
before that kind of got moved to another network. So
I know.
It's kind of crazy that was like the mascot. Like in the 90s,
I know.
It was like, hey, let's have a minstrel frog.
Like
Like,
I did not I did not assign a race to the frog in my mind as a child, but now as an adult,
we were innocent
I
children.
was gonna say
I
that
don't know
tells
if
me
I
that
could
I
have
did
told
not
you.
inherently have I was not inherently racist because I didn't.
I had to learn about minstrel shows.
Thank you. I didn't know about minstrel shows at 13.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, let's kick off and just very briefly then talk about the origins of the WB as a
And I'm just going to
network.
chime in occasionally with things like...
Sure.
or also, another one that I'm gonna lean heavy on is... I don't want to wait.
Ooh.
Don't step on me. Let me do my thing.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You'll have plenty of opportunities to go solo with that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of punctuate it with that.
Okay.
Things like that.
Things like that.
I'm gonna be sort of a human soundboard.
Oh,
in this episode.
perfect. Love it.
Okay, go ahead.
Perfect. Okay, so really quickly, let's talk about how the WB as a network came to be. Obviously, Warner Brothers had been around for years and years, but the WB as a network launched on January 11th, 1995, and it began as programming that was aimed towards teens and young adults who were really being like underserved. Because you've got your children's, you've got your Nickelodeons and your Disney, and then you've got your 25 and up, basically, that are watching Friends and Frasier and all of those things. But you really didn't have shows that were geared towards teens and young adults. So WB saw this and they were like, we're going to create programming for this demographic. They were like
it was the fifth broadcast network, right? Because you have the big classic three,
yeah, and then Fox
broadcast networks: NBC, CBS, ABC, and then in the 80s, Fox becomes the fourth, and this was the fifth, right?
Yeah.
Well, this and UPN soon after became the fifth and sixth.
Yes, and so they had, like Justin said a minute ago, like they really started with programming geared towards Black audiences. They had Sister Sister, which I think had come from.
No, I do remember watching Sister Sister.
Oh, watched a lot of Sister Sister.
Sister Sister was that a TGIF show for a while?
I think it was. That's why I'm thinking it was an ABC.
Maybe I'm misremembering that, but I don't know.
Because they did also get like Sabrina at some point, which also came from ABC. So they had Sister Sister, Steve Harvey show, and then when the UPN was created, which was around the same time, they kind of funneled those over to UPN, and UPN had a lot of programming geared towards Black audiences. They ended up having UPN
was like the Black network.
I mean, it was like BET.
That's very much how it was.
Yeah, I mean, it really was. Like they had Moesha.
And I remember that. I remember Moesha.
Yep, loved
Don't
Moesha.
undersell Homeboys from Outer Space. That was
yeah. There was a lot of good programming on UPN. And
SmackDown.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And as we will talk about later on, these two networks, they kind of were born at the same time and did their thing for a while, and then they came right back together. And we'll talk about that at the end of the episode. But neither of those networks exist anymore as what we knew them as. And then of course they had Kids WB, which I'm sure we'll do an episode about at some point.
A Kids WB.
Without looking, I feel like Animaniacs was on there, or was that Fox?
Oh, God. No, Kids WB was Tiny Toons, Animaniacs.
Okay, yeah, that's
what it was. Pinky and the Brain.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's what I was. Yeah, I watched a lot of WB. I watched a lot of
Kids WB.
Yeah,
definitely.
Well, so when they started this, they didn't, they had these comedies and things that they'd kind of taken from other networks, like Sister Sister and the Steve Harvey show. And then their very first drama was called Savannah. And Savannah. And it just rolls off the tongue like molasses. And it was not really a teen drama. It was just a drama. And that premiered in January of 96, so a year after WB was born. And then that ended up being canceled after the second season and was replaced with a little mid-season replacement known as Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which is going to be the first show that we talk about a little in depth here.
And I think most people will find it shocking that I've never watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I find that shocking because you like horror and you also have a big boner for Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Well, don't talk about my boner. First of all. Second of all...
Had and still have for Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Well, sure, yeah.
Pretty lady.
And I got a horror boner. And,
yeah, I was going to say, like, yeah. It's...
Well, and a lot of my friends watched it and like it too. I don't know. There's something about Joss Whedon's writing that rubs me the wrong way.
Miss Cringy. Mm-hmm. Well, and unfortunately, he's turned out to be not a great person, but that's neither here nor there. But
no.
I will say in this episode, and we're getting ready to talk about Buffy, which is our first show. There's obviously, the WB had many, many, many shows, some drama, comedy, some more teen drama. We're going to focus on 6 big shows from this era, which I would say is at least the beginning of the golden era, and certainly the golden era of these shows for the WB. Really running it on out until the network didn't exist anymore, which again, I'll talk about here in a minute. But Buffy was really the first of these like teen dramas, but they also, you know, Buffy wasn't just a teen drama because it was sci-fi horror and it was comedy. It was all of the things. So obviously this starred Sarah Michelle Gellar, very incredibly popular show. This was set in the fictional Sunnydale, California, created by Joss Whedon. It is based on the 1992 movie of the same name, which
I've seen the movie.
The movie's great. Love the movie.
Yeah, the movie is great.
With one Mr. Paul Reubens in it.
Mr. Pee Wee Herman himself.
Mr. Pee Wee Herman himself, that's right.
Who is wonderful.
As always.
In that movie. In everything.
So basically, Sarah Michelle Gellar plays Buffy Summers, who is a regular high school student. And she's got her friends Xander and Willow, and she finds out that she is this generation's vampire slayer. And so she has like a mentor, Giles, who he's like the school librarian, and so like they all kind of work together to fight all these big bad guys, all these creatures and whatnots, and then also just like, you know, school dance drama, you know, just kind of regular teen drama. This show was huge and continues to be huge. I
was gonna say it's been off the air for years and years, and you still hear people talk about it all the time. This ran on the WB from 97 when it started until 2003, until 2001, and the last 2 seasons actually it moved to UPN. So the last 2 seasons aired on UPN. I have never seen all of it, but I have seen, I think I stalled out in the middle of the 5th season, which would have been the last one to air on the WB. But I will at some point in my life go back and rewatch / finish watching it. But yeah, I mean, there's, what do you say about Buffy? It did have it had a huge following, and it also spawned a spin-off, which was also on the WB called Angel, which was, you know, a more of just a regular sci-fi drama, not teens. And that ran for 5 years. That was also a huge hit for the WB. And really the WB and then consequently the CW kind of had the niche with like the sci-fi teen dramas, and just like dramas in general, which like at the time the Sci-Fi Channel didn't really have. Now they've gotten into the game and having their own sort of thing, but that was way after this. Well, there's a lot of, you know, looking at these that it's like, you have the ones that are just like high school dramas or whatever. Yeah. But there's a lot of genre stuff in here,
There's a lot,
There's a lot of horror. There's a lot of science fiction.
And then even like going on into when the CW exit, like Vampire Diaries and the originals and
that's what I was thinking,
the 100
too,
and like there were a lot as CW. Like they've always, you know, WB and CW have always like done a lot of genre work. And for that, I like that.
And for that, we applaud them.
Now, I don't know if you heard that there was going to be a revival of Buffy.
Oh yeah, I did, and I did hear that it was canceled.
Yeah, it was.
Now, what was the deal there? Is it just another instance of corporate greed or something?
So.
Where
I don't really know.
Money didn't make enough people money, and so it wasn't worth doing.
Probably because honestly, like I haven't looked into it too much. But I mean, I can't imagine that it was a interest thing, because clearly a lot of people were interested.
Yeah, no.
Sarah Michelle Gellar was coming back. I mean,
it has really never waned in popularity.
No, it really hasn't.
If anything, it's gained in a cult, its cult following.
Well, and like
more.
honestly, several of the shows that we're talking about, they may have had their heyday, but with streaming, really. Gen Z and Gen Alpha are now watching these shows that their parents kind of grew up with, and they're some of them even more popular than they were when they were on, and have had revivals and reboots and all that.
But especially Buffy. Buffy, and I think it has to do too with the horror. Horror is just popular.
Yes.
And it kind of always is with teens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
So
yeah, and
plus hot girl, plus it's nerdy.
Yeah,
which has been cool for a long
funny.
time now.
It's and it spawned so much like comics and just like other things that kept kind of the fandom very like involved, and they've all been very involved in like cons and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean it's just continued. And I mean obviously like Sarah Michelle Gellar and David Boreanaz and Allison Hannigan have had like big careers, that really, kind of, we'll say started. I know Sarah Michelle Gellar did other things, before this,
sure.
But this was, really their big break. So having that really helped. But yeah, I'm with you. I don't feel like this show ever has really waned in popularity or interest. And maybe it's because we personally know people who love the show, but I just feel like, like if you've never seen an episode, but you are very well aware of what it is, who's in it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like even having never watched it. So,
like it's kind of, I'm aware of pop culture enough to where it's hard to avoid it. I mean, the algorithm's gonna put Buffy clips in my,
and again,
in my feeds every once in a while, just because there's a lot of crossover.
Yeah, of course.
Plus the algorithm knows of my Sarah Michelle Gellar passion.
Now, you had a Buffy Sarah Michelle Gellar poster on your wall in your bedroom.
Yeah, but it was really for her. It wasn't for the show.
Well, I know, but it was from Buffy, wasn't it?
There was more than one, but yeah. There was.
There was the one that was hidden in your closet, and then there was that was a Britney Spears Pepsi one, wasn't it? Wasn't there a Britney Spears one in your closet door?
I don't remember that.
I feel like
maybe.
There was. Justin, I know that you have not.
You don't want to go down that road with me. I remember the notebooks you were making.
Oh, like my binders with all my pictures of cute boys.
Elijah Wood eroticism or whatever.
I wasn't writing any Elijah Wood friend fan fiction. I've never written a fan fiction. I've never read a fan fiction. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I never have. Yeah.
Good. Well, okay.
Let's move on. Let's move on to the next one. And while I know that you haven't seen any of these shows, I know you're familiar enough. Tell us a little bit about our next show, Dawson's Creek.
I don't want to wait. Do not step on my toes while I'm singing the Paula Cole. I do the doos.
Okay, good.
It's ruined now. No, that's about all I know. I know it's got Katie Holmes, and I know it's got James Van Der Beek, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
I know his name is Pacey, mainly because they derisively call him that in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yes, they do.
I know it's got Michelle Williams.
That's Emmy winner, Academy Award nominated Michelle Williams.
Yeah, I know like the four main ones,
sure.
Right? I know Van Der Beek, other guy's face.
Joshua Jackson.
Joshua Jackson.
Yeah, from Fringe, baby.
I was going to say, I know him from Fringe.
Yeah. Oh,
and
God,
Michelle
what a great
Williams
show.
and Katie Holmes.
Yes.
And I know there's a creek.
Well, you've got a good
And
start.
from the covers, it looks like maybe there's a dock on the creek at some.
Well, most creeks, they've got docks.
Well, I mean, that's a pretty good sized creek if it's got a dock. I mean, a dock's more
It's
like
quite the creek. Yes,
more of a
this
lake
is
thing,
probably
river.
of this era. This is absolutely the quintessential teen drama. I feel like it was the most popular. It was kind of the blueprint for. Again, we just talked about like there being a lot of genre shows. If you're going straight teen drama,
Yeah.
it's Dawson's Creek. Like it kind of begins and ends at the creek. You know what I'm saying? Like this is, you're right. This follows Dawson Leary, the titular Dawson, played by the wonderful James Van Der Beek. And he is obsessed with filmmaking. He's obsessed with Steven Spielberg. He's just somebody you would really just hate to be around. He's really insufferable. I'm going to be honest, just saying.
Oh, and here's the thing too. Like,
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg's one of the greatest directors of all time.
Sure.
One of my favorite, obviously. But like, you're really into film, and like that's like saying I'm really into hamburgers, and McDonald's is my favorite. Like, no, I'm not equating Steve. That's not a good one because that's implying Steven Spielberg is shit quality, which he's not.
Well, it's just like saying your favorite food's pizza. It's just basic.
It's very.
And you know what?
Basic,
My favorite food's pizza, so I'm not afraid.
Well, you are very basic.
I know. I am.
That tracks.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. It's like, yeah. Which I mean, I guess when you're 15, you know, that's fine. I will say. Let me just interject and
It'd
say...
be more unbearable if it was like Fellini.
See, I was going to say, it actually would be worse if it was somebody like Niche. It'd be like, when you're 15 like, in Massachusetts, give it up. Like, you don't fucking know. In 1997 or whatever. Yeah.
Telling me about French filmmaking.
Now, I will tell you, he and Pacey work in a video store.
Okay.
And obviously, like, as the seasons go on, you kind of see that less and less. But it's just delightful when there's any scenes.
Do you see the transition from VHS to DVD?
I know.
As it goes on? That'd be interesting to know.
I don't know.
These are the things I want to know.
I am watching this, not for the first time. So
You're like watching it now,
I'm
right?
I'm currently watching it. So
Okay.
I did not see it when it came on. I remember not being allowed to watch it because I was 10, 11 when it started. And I remember the scuttlebutt about the show from adults was, God, these kids talk about sex all the time. All they talk about is sex. It's very racy. And it's so funny because I'm watching it now and I'm like, yeah, they talk about it, but like, they're not really doing it yet. With the exception of something that was not considered racy. One of the teachers, a 30-something-year-old teacher, is sleeping with Pacey in the first season.
A high school student?
Yes, he's 15 at the start of the show, and she's like 36. And she like takes his virginity, and it's seen as like it's got to be a secret, but it's not seen as like a crime, which it clearly is. So I'm like,
yeah. And you know, all his buddies were like, nice.
Well, and that was really, I mean, again, this is 1998, and so it's sort of playing on this like every boy's fantasy sort of, but it's like really happening. And now in the year of our Lord 2026, as a 39-year-old woman, I'm watching this and being like,
imagine being attracted to a 15-year-old.
Yes, thank you. I'm just like, this is gross. It's wrong. It's criminal. I'm just like. And the show treats it as just like a little taboo, but that's about it.
So do you think the scuttlebutt was justified? Do you think you should have been watching it when you were 10?
I don't think that it would have. I mean, that's honestly the raciest
probably not
thing. Yeah. But I mean, everybody else really isn't. I mean, you have.
I'm just imagining Mom was like, "No, Amy, you can't watch Dawson's Creek," and you were like, "But Mom, I don't want to wait for my life to be over."
Yeah, exactly. I'll be honest. I don't remember. I remember seeing like a magazine spread about the cast, like when the show first started, and being like, oh my gosh, they all look so cool. They're all dressed so cool, whatever. Probably at like the dentist office seeing it and being like, oh mom, like, can I watch this show? And her being like, I don't think you're old enough for that. I didn't really fight her on it. I just was like, okay,
Yeah.
But I can remember being like, and now looking back, I'm like, yeah, I probably was a little young to be watching that. But yeah, I didn't watch it when it came out. I watched like the first 3.5 seasons, I don't know, like 15 years ago when it first went up on streaming, and I just never finished. So now I am watching it. I went back to the beginning, and I am somewhere in season 3 right now. So I've not gotten to the stuff I've never seen before, but I also don't remember a lot of nitty gritty details. So I remember a lot of the big strokes. I remember who gets with who for the most part and that kind of thing. But yeah, I am in the thick of it. I really wanted this to be the year of the WB teen drama, which is part of why we're doing this episode. And so I'm starting with Dawson's Creek.
And how far along are you?
I'm in season 3. I'm about halfway probably through season 3.
How many seasons are there?
6.
6. Okay. Well,
Yes.
you better get moving.
I know.
We're already halfway through April.
I know. Well,
You
yeah, I
need to
don't know how. I mean,
prioritize. Get your priorities in line there.
well, I am kind of watching it along with Harold and Katie, our friends, and I got way ahead of them, so I kind of cooled it for a couple weeks to let them catch up.
Okay.
And watch.
Well, Harold and Katie, pick up the pace.
Yeah, pick it up, guys. No.
Pick it up.
So yeah, we're
them
trying to
feet up.
kind of stay around the same. But yeah, this was created by Kevin Williamson.
I did not know that.
You didn't know
course
that? Okay.
I didn't know that, but I know who Kevin Williamson is because of
Yes.
the aforementioned horror boner
Yeah.
that I have.
If you don't know who Kevin Williamson is, he was famously the writer of Scream. I Know What You Did Last Summer. And in the first season, especially,
And the terrible new Scream movie.
and the terrible new Scream. If you watch the first season, this came out in 98. So really just like within a couple years of those two movies coming out. And there's definitely like posters for them, like in the film class and like his room. And like they make comments about like how stupid the Scream movie is, blah, blah, blah. It's very like meta.
It's very meta, like Scream.
I just like Scream.
Like all of Kevin Williams' stuff.
Yes, true. And I believe Kevin Williamson also created, maybe I'm completely wrong, I think he created Vampire Diaries, which then came on in the CW in the 2000s.
I don't know.
I think that's correct.
I'm glad you brought it up without knowing the answer to it.
Well, I don't know. Y'all fact check me. It's fine. Maybe he didn't. Maybe
I'm going to fact check you right now.
Okay.
He did. He co-created Vampire Diaries.
I thought I had that. I've watched several seasons of that too.
I actually have as well.
I know. We used to do this thing. Justin, tell people what we used to do. Our little switcheroo.
It's a thing we used to do?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
How,
I
that's
haven't
how
thought about
you
that
watched
in years.
What
We
did
would trade
Summer TV
shows.
swap. Summer TV swap.
That's what... Oh, I completely forgot about this.
Can we bring that back? Because there's so much good TV.
Yeah, so the idea of summer... This is a complete sidebar, but the idea of summer TV swap is I tell you a show and you have all summer to watch it and vice versa. That the other hasn't seen.
And you really couldn't argue about it. Like you had to just be like, okay, I'm gonna watch it. And it had to be reasonable, like not something with 10 seasons that you couldn't get through in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it has to be something that the other person genuinely likes that they think you will enjoy.
Yeah.
And it can't be something of like, I'm gonna make you watch the shittiest thing I've
Yeah,
ever
it's
seen.
something you genuinely enjoy and you think the other person would like. And
Now, what were some of mine? What did you watch?
Breaking Bad. I remember Breaking Bad was
wow.
like the
Yeah.
first one. I remember that's how I got you to watch some of Vampire Diaries and Bones.
I watched a lot of Bones.
I watched a lot of Bones. I watched till she had that baby in the manger, and I thought, I gotta cut it. I gotta stop.
I think that was the last time
Literally,
I watched
like,
it
the
too. I was
10th
like,
season- I was
you
like-
know what? I think I'm done. I'm pretty sure that's
I
the
was
last
really
episode I
deep down a
watched.
Bones rabbit hole there for a
You were down
year.
a boat hole.
I was down that bone hole. God, Justin, there's so many good shows. But yeah, am I gonna make you watch
wailing
Dawson's
at the
Creek?
sky? There's so many good shows. Well, okay.
We're living in a golden age
We'll
of
talk about the
television.
potential
Okay.
of a new summer TV swap later.
Okay. Whew. But anyways, yes, that's it. Whew, I got really excited. Okay.
Got it. Came in hot.
I have to remember the other ones that you had me watch, but I do know Breaking Bad was one.
Okay.
Okay. Whew. Let's move on. Well, actually, one more thing that I wanted to mention about Dawson's
please.
Creek that's really just like...
Is it? I don't want to wait for my life to be over. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
I was letting you cook. I didn't interrupt.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I just wanted to mention that another like big critique of the show that kind of became like its hallmark was the incredibly unrealistic dialogue for teenagers.
Okay.
I mean, it's like the most pretentious adults you've ever met, but they're 15 and they're talking to... I mean, it really is like... I know our mom always jokes about like Gilmore Girls, like nobody talks like that, blah, blah, blah. You think nobody talks like that on Gilmore Girls? You should watch
also have that criticism of Gilmore Girls.
You should watch one episode of Dawson's Creek because it's like, wow. It's just
so
very...
is it good or no?
Yes? Like, okay. So, it is...
Well, give me an example. The most pretentious adults, you like, what are they talking about?
Oh, just about anything. It'll just be like, you know, oh, I wish I could think of a good line. But it's just like, you know, talking about like their love lives or whatever. And they're just like, you know, it's just incomparable, you know, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. Like, I can't think of a good, but it's just so like, literally, no, first of all, nobody talks like that. And especially 15-year-olds don't talk like that. So that was like a huge critique of the show, but also kind of became like part of its charm. Like, you just sort of accepted that, like, nobody talks like that. So it's like, yeah, it is the levels of drama on this show. Like, I mean, granted, I am almost 40 watching it back. So I sometimes have to be like, remember what it was like to be 16 and everything felt like the end of the world? Because the levels of drama in that show are really unrivaled. Anything I've ever seen. It's incredible.
And you just want to be like, you have no life experience. Like, just, this is...
You know,
you're fine. This is fine.
And then just like, you know, as an adult, I'm just like, there is no reason for them to break up.
Now,
this
you
is
were
just,
raped by
this is just for ratings.
Teacher, so that's a thing.
I what?
Now he was raped by his teacher, so that's a thing.
That is Justin. Yeah. I'm like, she's a groomer.
Oh, well, yeah, that's
lead,
what it...
Lead associate at
she's not even a groomer. She's just a pedophile.
Yeah. Lead associate at
grooming would be she's getting him ready for when he's
18. No, she didn't wait.
When he's 18, she didn't even wait.
Took his virginity. Knew he was a virgin at 15. And it was terrible. I can't.
Amy, when's the last time you've been around 15-year-old boys? They're
Every
disgusting.
day I work with high schoolers.
They're
yes,
disgusting.
I know.
And riddled with pimples and oils and
they
awkwardness.
smell weird and they're awkward. I love them, but not like that. I mean, they're...
Imagine just being like, ooh, baby.
And let me tell you, little sweet Joshua Jackson, he is a cutie patootie. I thought he was then. I think he is now. But as looking back on him, even though like it's hard for me to watch the show knowing that the actor is actually of age and that he's older than me in real life, to be like, oh God, he's so cute. Because I'm like, well, he's a kid there and I'm no longer a kid. So it feels kind of weird. Yeah. You know? So I can't imagine being my age.
That's
now.
when you just pop on some Fringe and lust after him there.
Yeah, baby.
Because that's fair game.
Oh, that is
Plus
fair
Fringe
game.
is a great show.
Fringe is a great show. You know, Justin, I actually think Fringe was a summer TV swap.
Maybe.
I think it was.
Oh my God.
I remembered it. This is we've not had dinner yet. It's a work night.
No.
Let's move on to the...
I'm getting hungry. We've only been through 2 of these shows,
All
Amy.
right.
You got to step it up.
All right. Well, the next one, to be fair, I don't know a ton about because I've never seen. So this one should go pretty quickly. And that is Felicity, which ran from 1998 to 2002. This was obviously like a big breakout role for Kerry Russell, who has gone on to, I believe, also win Emmys, definitely be nominated for them. She's gone on to be in The Americans and all kinds of stuff. And
boy, she's purty.
She's a purty lady. She's a pretty lady.
Now,
purty
what
hair.
I know about Felicity is hair.
The haircut.
The hair. That's it. That's what I know. Also, didn't J.J. Abrams do this show?
That was Alias, wasn't it?
I thought he did Felicity as well.
Oh, now you got a fact check.
I've got to fact check myself.
Oh, I just thought about Alias. That was UPN, wasn't it?
No, that was like ABC.
Fox?
Felicity was created by J.J. Abrams.
It was. Well, look at you. See, that's why you're the show historian.
Yeah,
I didn't add that in.
I just Googled it. I mean, anyone could do that.
Well, you would have included that in the notes, though. So this really follows Felicity, played by Carrie Russell.
The titular Felicity?
Yes, the titular. And it starts with her high school graduation. She lives in California, and she has this big crush on this guy, Ben, but she's never really talked to him throughout high school. She asked him to sign her yearbook, and he's like, oh, he's kind of, sweet to her, and he's like, oh, I really wish we could have gotten to know each other. So she changes where she's gonna go to school, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend style, and goes to University of New York, which is supposed to be NYU, instead of going to Stanford. And then she's just like, oh my God, you're here. That's crazy behavior.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's major crazy behavior.
That's dangerous. Mm-hmm. She's gonna kill his dog.
I don't think it's not seen it's seen in like a kind of pathetic, endearing way, not like a scary way, but
like the child rape in Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, it's not. Exactly.
It's charming.
It's
statutory
just charming statutory rape.
It's charming stalking behavior.
Really, what I know about this show is obviously it's high drama, and it is there's 4 seasons, one for each year that she's in college, and then there is a big love triangle between her and Ben, and then Noel, played by Scott Foley, and Ben's played by Scott Speedman. So it was the Scott versus Scott.
Scott Speedman. When I think of Scott Speedman, I think of Underworld movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when you think of Scott Foley, what do you think of?
I don't know who Scott Foley is.
You definitely do. Google Scott Foley.
Let's just Google more stuff.
Scotsman.
Scott Foley. What's he been in? Scandal. I never watched Scandal.
You see his
True
face,
Blood,
though.
Never watched.
But you recognize his face. He's been in.
He's you said he's the killer in Scream 3. You should have said that.
Oh.
Kevin Williamson.
Spoiler.
Oh, sorry.
He plays Roman. Yes. Spoiler on a 27-year-old movie. Yes, that's Scott Foley.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's really what I know about it. And also, Amy Jo Johnson, otherwise known as the Pink Power Ranger.
Amy Jo Johnson and Carrie Russell in the same show? I don't realize this, and I might have to go watch
You're like,
this.
Ooh. Yeah.
I'm suddenly very interested in Felicity.
Yes. Well, what you're referring to is the haircut that, Carrie Russell, of course, has, especially at the time, big, long, thick curls, beautiful hair, and right around the time that season 2 started, it was kind of like a couple episodes in, like her and the producers decided she was going to get like a very drastic short haircut, and everyone, like in retrospect, is like, that's what killed the show. That's what killed the show. Which really, the show ran for 2.5 more years. And ratings were already kind of declining a little, but everybody just kind of conflates those two together and is like...
But again, even all these years later, when I think Felicity, the first thing I think of
You don't know
is
anything about the show. It's Carrie Russell.
It's Carrie Russell's hair.
Yes. I mean, that's the pop culture... Yeah. The influence.
The magic was gone. The power of the show was in that hair.
And it slowly grew back, but it just never...
It's never the same.
I will say I've seen the first couple episodes of Felicity way back in the day, not when it was on, but it is on my list to watch in my year of the WB. So,
okay.
Or really just the year of the teen drama. So
you better get moving.
I know that might be like a fall show.
By
the time I feel like Dawson's is going to take me through the summer.
Yeah.
This won't necessarily be this year. I just wanted to rewatch a lot of watch for the first time a lot of teen dramas and start this year. So I think Felicity might be next up.
Now this next one you did watch. I remember you having the DVD sets.
I still have those exact DVD
Do you still have them?
Yes.
Okay.
Again, not one I watched. There was only one of these shows a couple that I watched when they were on. The next show is Roswell, which another genre show.
Yep.
that ran for 2 seasons on the WB and then moved to UPN for the last season. Which that last season, ooh, buddy, it's bad.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it only ran for 3 seasons, and the last one's terrible.
But the first 2 are so good that it makes.
They're so good it makes up for it.
Honest to God, it has everything you would want from a sci-fi teen drama that started in 1999. Over the top acting, bad special effects.
Yep.
I can't believe this person started on this show. Like, Katherine Heigl is a main character on the show. This was like a huge role for her. Just baller soundtrack. I remember having the actual soundtrack. Like, I got really into this show in college. So, like, I was in college from 2005 to 2009.
It had been over for a
little bit, but my best friend Jesse had watched it. And this was back when, you know, a DVD set like this would cost $50. Like, and I remember it had just, I think, come out on DVD. And so it was a big deal, and she got the box sets, and we watched. She had seen it. I had not. Okay. And so I remember specifically, like, sophomore year of college, going, I mean, I was always at her apartment, but watching all of Roswell, and literally being so, like, I knew that a character was going to die, but I didn't know who it was. And I remember being at her house, and you know, old school, you putting the discs in, all that kind of stuff. And I remember, like, going upstairs, going to sleep, having a sleepover, and, like, sneaking downstairs and, like, opening the DVD and, like, tempting myself to read the episode description to find out who. I was so into it. And I didn't, I was like, you could just literally read that episode description. Because Jesse, I think, had said, like, there's a main character is going to die. And I was like, oh my God, who? You know.
Why would she tell you that?
I probably asked. I don't know. But yeah, but I mean, we were so into it. And then I had to buy the box sets. And they are still, I still have the same ones from, like, 2007. But for those of you who don't know, the show is about 3 aliens who crash land in Roswell, New Mexico, when they're kids, and 2 of them get adopted by one set of parents and 1 gets adopted by this asshole, honestly. And so 2 of them grow up as brother and sister, and 1 is just like their friend. And they only people that know who they really are and that they're aliens are Liz, which is our main character, and her best friend Maria, and they both work at this diner. And of course, everything in Roswell is very alien themed. And the very first episode is there's a shooting at the diner, and someone shoots Liz, and Max, who's her love interest, one of the aliens, heals her, and that's how she finds out that he is not human. And so then they're, like, keeping the secret, and then of course the government finds out that they're there, so the government is after them. They're trying to keep the secret. You've got William Sadler as the sheriff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Sheriff Valenti.
Love me some Billy Sads.
Yeah, it's Emily de Ravine. How do you ever say her name?
De Raven.
Wonderful Claire from Lost. She is in it. She comes in kind of towards the end of the first season, and she plays a major character throughout the rest of the show. Yeah, it's I love it. Oh, and also it's got that great Dido song as the theme song.
Sing us a couple bars.
I won't go. I won't speak. I can't sleep until you're resting here with me, and I won't leave, and I can't hide, I cannot be until you're resting here with me. Doom, doom, doom.
It's a weird song to be about an aliens show.
Yeah.
Good job, though.
Thank you. Oh, my God. I'm going to have to rewatch Roswell this year. That's going to be my fall show. Oh, I get so... There's just something about that show. I get very invested in, like, I'm very invested. It was a great show. They had a reboot.
You talked yourself into it over the last 5 minutes.
Forget Dawson. No. Yeah, there was a reboot. I think it was called like Roswell NM, like Roswell, New Mexico. And it had a couple seasons a few years ago. It had like maybe 3 or 4 seasons. I didn't watch it, but I think I'm trying to remember if it was really supposed to be in the same timeline or if it was. I think it was supposed to be like 20 years later, but it was like different characters and stuff.
Okay.
So, but it starred Sherry Appleby. Swim fan.
I don't know who that is?
Swim fan? Anyone?
Uh,
Yeah. She
sounds made up, frankly.
Sherry Appleby sounds like a made up name.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm Sherry.
It's Sherry.
Even more.
Shirri. Just a great show.
What?
Shirri. Sherry.
Not a real name.
Okay. You could take that up with Miss Appleby then.
I will.
Yeah, just a great show. I don't want to make you watch Roswell. And I feel like you could watch the first 2 seasons. It has
I already know what your summer TV swap movie is going to be for me. It's going to be this, isn't it?
It's just going to be the first 2 seasons. It ends on a very, like, it could have ended at the second season and you would have been satisfied. So at least
I'll make you watch the first 3 seasons of Nip Tuck.
Gladly. I've seen the 3rd. Sounds great. We're going to mention Nip Tuck here in a minute very briefly.
Wait, I just did.
Well, I'm gonna bring.
Let's do it again.
I'm gonna mention Nip Tuck.
I don't know if I could rewatch Nip Tuck now that Dr. Christian Troy is dead. I'd be too sad.
I know. When I'm watching Dawson, like right after James Vanderbeek died, I keep forgetting that I'm like, oh god, he just died, and it was terrible. Like, yeah. Okay, the next show. Let's switch it up. We got 2 more shows to talk about. And the next show, Justin's going to have to reel me in. Because this is my favorite show of all time.
Yeah, we're going on an hour now, so
we'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up. And that is Gilmore Girls, which I debated including because it really doesn't fit the bill of, quote, teen drama. It's more of a family drama, but... Mm-hmm.
But it has a teen.
It has a teen. I mean, half the show's about a teen. Yeah.
I think it definitely counts.
Yeah, I think it does.
And the mom, she kind of acts like a teen.
Yeah, she's 32 when it starts, so yeah. She's a teen mom.
She's kind of immature.
Yeah, for sure.
So it works.
I probably don't need to tell anybody what Gilmore Girls is about, but in case you don't know, it's about mother-daughter Lorelai and Rory Gilmore, and they live in this small, quirky New England town of Stars Hollow. And Lorelai had Rory at 16, so when the show starts, Rory is like 15 and Lorelai's 32, and it's just kind of about this dynamic and their relationships and their family and their town. And
Is this your favorite show of all time?
Yes, even though there have been shows that, because this show does drop off at the end. The last 2 seasons are not great. But I have watched this show and gotten so much joy and comfort from this show since it was on, like for my whole life almost, like that it can't not be my favorite show. You know what I mean? Like there are shows that have had a stronger run that I really love. Like Schitt's Creek or something like that it's like every episode's great, right? There's not a weak season like there is with Gilmore Girls, but there is just nothing in the world as comforting to me as putting on an episode of Gilmore Girls. And for the longest time, this was really not like, I mean, this was popular when it was on, but it didn't really get people didn't talk about it as much when they talked about shows like this because it wasn't streaming until like the mid 2000s, like mid 2010s, I mean. Okay. And so all kinds of people kind of got to watch it for the first time, and that led to the reboot, which was basically like 4 movies. It was called A Year in the Life, and it was like 4 hour-and-a-half movies. It was winter, spring, summer, fall. That was in 2016, I think. So, but I can remember just like talking about this show with people and being like, oh yeah, I remember that show. I've never watched it though. Like, and I think some of these other shows were like on streaming and were just more popular. And now Gilmore Girls is very, very popular with people of all ages. But I felt like for a while, I was kind of one of the only people I knew that was really, really into it. And now
you're a Gilmore Girls hipster. You were into it before it was cool.
I mean, it was cool at the time. Like, it was cool. It was popular when it was on. Shut up. I think I've mentioned before on the podcast that, like, I started watching this before the second season started, and on Sundays on the WB, they would have Gilmore Girls Beginnings, and they would show reruns of the first season, like, leading up to the second, I think, to get people to watch. And it worked. And I caught an episode and was like, oh man, I like this show. Like, and so started watching it at the second season, asked mom and dad for the first season on DVD that Christmas, and I got it. And then every subsequent Christmas for the next 6 years, asked for that newest season on DVD. And Christmas break, I remember it was just like sometime over break, I would go down in our den and I would fire it up and I'd rewatch it, because at the time that, like, they didn't show reruns of, I mean, maybe like they did for that first season, but like
pre-streaming.
This was pre-streaming, so it was like I watched them when they were on, and then I didn't watch them again until I got the DVD set. That's so weird to think that was like how we grew up, like that. And just to think with our parents, like,
I remember the first time I saw TV shows being released on DVD, like a set of an entire season of TV shows, and I thought that was wow. You know, and I remember the first one I ever bought, the first TV show I ever bought, and I thought it was so cool. I'm gonna have a whole season of TV on this DVD that I could watch. It was the first season of Chappelle's Show.
Chappelle's a WB.
That WB.
The second Chappelle Show reference.
Yep.
Chappelle Show.
Chappelle
Show. Yeah, we could do a whole podcast on Gilmore Girls, and you know what? It's 27 years old, so we probably could.
And you and Chris should do that.
Yes, our good friend Chris also loves Gilmore Girls. Yeah, it's yeah, we could do a whole pod on that, and I won't, but I will say it ran from 2000 to 2007. And it was folded into the CW when that was merged when that merger happened in 2006. So its last season was on the CW, but it was a WB show. And
now, when they came back and did the movies, was that like a Netflix thing?
That was a Netflix thing, yes, because Netflix had gotten the streaming rights probably in like 2013 or 14, and then it really gained traction of like people discovering it for the first time, and like people like myself who'd watched it, who were like watching it with their kids and that kind of thing. And so it just really got a lot of, because like you used to see like merchandise and things for some of these other shows, but really not Gilmore Girls. And now you can see like, I mean, I can remember going to like Cafe Press and having to get my Gilmore Girls stuff. Do you remember Cafe Press? Like I had to get my Gilmore Girls.
I had to go to Cafe Press for my Gilmore Girls merchandise.
And
like
my Roswell merch, I remember.
Fucking animal.
There's this, if Jessie listens to this, well, she probably doesn't, but there is, there's like a sigil of some kind that's important in Roswell. It's kind of like a swirl of whatever. It's like on this cave wall. And I remember us going to Cafe Press and getting matching necklaces that had that on it.
Nerds.
Ate up with it. But yeah, I used to have to go to Cafe, but that's a throwback. Cafe Press.
Yeah, I remember getting stuff from Cafe Press.
Yeah, I used to have to go there to get my Gilmore Girls merch. And now
you could get anything.
You could get anything. I guess it's like what Redbubble. I feel like that's what like Redbubble.
Yeah, Redbubble's kind of like that. Yeah.
All right, the last show that I'm going to talk about, I have never seen a single episode of it. It ran for like 9 years, 10 years, something like that. I would like to get to it eventually, but it is daunting because it's so many seasons, and that is One Tree Hill.
Okay.
And now I wanted to mention it because even though it only had 3 seasons on the WB before the merger, it was mostly a CW show. It did start on the WB, and I feel like it really took up the mantle from Dawson's Creek of like quintessential teen drama.
Okay.
For like the next age, you know, because you had Dawson really felt very 90s, started in the late 90s, ran into 2003, I think. And then this started and ran into 2012. So I feel like this was really the quintessential teen drama for that era. Like,
yeah.
That and probably like Gossip Girl, although Gossip Girl had like such a different vibe. This was very like, this was also filmed in Wilmington, North Carolina, where Dawson's Creek was filmed. So they kind of have like a similar vibe of being like this very like...
One's a tree, one's a creek.
One's a tree, one's a creek, exactly. This is supposed to be... whereas Dawson's Creek is supposed to be in Massachusetts, this is actually supposed to be in North Carolina, in the fictional town of Tree Hill. And this follows two like half brothers, one of which is Chad Michael Murray, and one is James Lafferty. And they are like, I don't think they, I could be wrong. One Tree Hill fans, don't come for me. I don't think they're half siblings. I don't think they really grew up together. And they're like competing all the time, and they're both like basketball players at the high school, and they're competing for like different positions on the team, and like girlfriends, they like the same girls and all this. And so that's kind of how it starts, with just a bunch of drama and relationships and small town whatnots.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I have never seen a single episode. I've seen clips.
Me neither.
Oh, I'm shocked.
I'm glad we're talking about it.
Yeah. But that felt like it had to be on one of the quintessential on this list, because...
Well, I think you should drop all these other shows and start watching One Tree Hill, because it's going to take you a while.
It's going to take me maybe that's 2027 is going to be the year of the hill. I don't know. I feel like that's going to be a show that when it starts to get bad, which I know it will, then it's going to be hard to get through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
well, there's nothing saying you have to watch the whole thing.
There's true. No, I'll go to the One Tree Hill Reddits and I'll say, hey guys, how far should I go before it's just not worth it anymore? And I'll see what they have to say. I did want to mention a couple other both teen dramas that are of note that we didn't talk about, and just some other big WB shows of the time that were more just regular dramas. Obviously, a really long-running genre show was Smallville.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody save me. That was their theme song for that.
There's a lot of singing in this episode.
The people love it. You know what my favorite bit of Smallville trivia is? Is that Allison Mack, not to be confused with our girl Alex Mack, but Allison Mack, who was a regular on the show, joined the Nexium cult and was charged with many things and went to jail for that.
Yeah,
that's
I remember that.
Fun little, but this is about young Clark Kent, young Lex Luthor.
I've never watched this either.
I've seen a handful of episodes. Jesse was very into the show again when we were in college, so there were a lot of times I'd come hang out, and because this was like playing in syndication, and so I would catch episodes here and there. But that's how I know the theme song. But I've never really watched any of it. But it ran for 10 years. Again, started on the WB, continued over into the CW. So I felt like it needed a mention. I know there's a lot of Smallville fans out there. And then a couple smaller shows. This one I did love, but I only watched like the first season and a half, and that was Everwood. I feel like people do not remember Everwood very much, but this had Treat Williams, R.I.P. And he is playing a doctor who moves his family to like this small mountain town in Colorado to be like the town doctor after his wife.
Park.
It's South Park. After his wife dies, and he has a teenage son and like a young daughter. And this has Chris Pratt in it playing not the son, but this is like an early Chris Pratt role. This has Emily Van Camp. I loved it. I remember, you remember my friend Whitney. She used to come over on Monday nights, and I remember we would suffer through, it was like Seventh Heavens last season, and we would watch that, and then Everwood would come on at 9, and we would make brownies out of the box, and we would watch WB Monday nights. Watch Everwood. I have
Good memories.
Good memes. And then another one to note was Popular, which I have never seen, but I wanted to bring up because this is Ryan Murphy's first show. Pre-Nip Tuck.
I don't recall that at all.
Had I believe Leslie Bibb is in it.
Okay.
And I've never seen that, but I would like to watch it.
Let's talk about Nip Tuck some more.
Well, we'll have a Nip Tuck episode. Let's talk about...
We're going to have to do another spin-off podcast so we can start talking about these 2000s shows.
Oh, no.
That
we're going to quit our jobs. We're going to have to get a whole Cool Kids Pod network.
How have I not talked about Lost on a podcast before?
Okay, let's not get derailed, Justin.
Oh, boy.
All right.
I'm just overwhelmed myself.
Just a couple other shows I want to mention before we wrap up. I just mentioned Seventh Heaven. This was...
now, I did see a lot. I did see sporadic episodes of Seventh Heaven over the years. Kind of hard to avoid.
Heaven, when I see their smiling faces shining back at me. Seventh Heaven. Yeah.
That was good.
Thank you.
Now, the one thing, the things I remember about Seventh Heaven: Jessica Biel, Hachi Machi, and that the dad was a pedophile. He's a diddler.
He is a diddler. He is a diddler, and that's not funny. But the fact that there's been a couple, both real and storyline pedophiles in this episode is really a lot.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't like this show, but I watched it. I watched it in syndication. I never...
Why are you watching it? Because it's on.
Thank you. Yes. It would always, we suffered through that last season because it came on with Everwood, but really I watched Seventh Heaven in syndication in, the afternoons, and it would be I guess I'll sit through a Seventh Heaven before, something better comes on or whatever.
Right.
Sister or something.
I don't have the energy to find something else.
Yeah, but it's just big family drama. He's a pastor or a minister, and it's very, very sanitized, very goody. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I watched it all the time. Charmed, another genre show that was huge for the WB.
Oh yeah.
With
Hachi Machi again.
Yeah, lots of hotties. Shannon Doherty and Alyssa Milano, and I can't remember the third girl's name.
No one knows.
Rose McGowan.
It's Shannon Doherty and Alyssa Milano in the third one.
Well, she was cute too. And then Rose McGowan.
I'm not saying she wasn't cute. I just no one knows her name.
All I know, I've never seen Charmed. My husband has watched a lot of Charmed. But what I can remember about it is that there was a lot of drama on the set of the show, and that Shannon Doherty, I think, left or was fired midway through, and Rose McGowan came in, and I can remember that happening in real time. That was drama. I already mentioned Angel, which was a buff off of Spinny. I need to eat dinner. It was the spinoff of Buffy, and then it started on the WB, technically, and that is Supernatural.
Oh.
It only had one season on the WB before the CW merger, and then literally ended in 2020. The show was on for 100 fucking years.
Yeah, it was.
But I was very into Supernatural.
There was I feel 3 to 4 times where I just assumed it was over, and then to come to find out it had still been going for years.
Yeah. Yeah. I can remember watching the first episode in Jesse's dorm room my freshman year of college. They paired it with Gilmore Girls, which is funny because Jared Padalecki, who stars in Supernatural, had been on Gilmore Girls for years. So they thought, they're going to want to watch, those are two completely different vibes.
Right.
And I remember watching the first episode and the season 5 premiere of Gilmore Girls, and season 6, sorry, and we turned off all the lights and watched the pilot of Supernatural, and we were obsessed with that show for the first 5 years, which was supposed to be its original run, and then it just kept getting renewed, and kept getting renewed, and kept getting renewed. So
some say it's still going
somewhere. Yep. I know that they're both on other shows, but I think somewhere it's still going.
Somehow it's still happening.
But I have a lot of fondness for at least the early seasons of Supernatural, even though I did not see it through. But yeah, it was very Monster of the Week. Loved it.
Yeah.
So good. But yeah, that was That was a lot of talking about a lot of different shows. I want to know, for listeners out there, what was your favorite WB teen drama? Did we mention it, or was it one of those weird niche ones like Jack and Bobby or something? Like, I want to know that ran for like 1 or 2 seasons. Like, I didn't mention all of them, obviously, but I tried to hit the heavy hitters, you know. And this really was, like I said, this is the beginning of this golden era of teen drama, which started with the WB, and then in 2006, the WB and the UPN merged and became the CW, which still exists today. And they've continued, I mean, on through the 2000s and the 2010s for being known for teen dramas. We talked about One Tree Hill being on there, Smallville being on there, Gossip Girl, and Vampire Diaries, and the originals, and the 100, and blah, 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 blah. Tons of shows. But this is really where it started, was like Buffy, Dawson's Creek, the WB. I was hoping you'd do that for us. Yeah. So yeah. How did you enjoy getting schooled on?
I did, thank you. I learned a lot.
Yeah? What did you learn? What's something you can take home?
I learned that Kevin Williamson created Dawson's Creek?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
And Vampire Diaries.
And Vampire Diaries, didn't know that either.
There you go.
Makes sense. Makes sense, though.
It does make sense. He likes a teen horror. Mm-hmm. It's true. Mm-hmm. It's true. Well, since I have talked the whole episode, I'm gonna.
Did a great job.
Thank you. I very rarely lead an episode like that. So thank you.
Well, brava.
Thank you. I got to play as show historian today. Yep. So, yeah, go ahead and give us some plugs. I gotta get a drink of water.
Yeah. I'd say if you want to, you can find this show on Spotify. You can find it on Apple Podcasts. Go to the website. You know how to do it. YouTube.
You know how to Google things.
I trust that you can do it.
You can do hard things.
Follow us on social media. On Instagram and Blue Sky and Threads. We are at Cool Kids Club Pod.
Yep.
Search for us on Facebook. Just search for Cool Kids Club Podcast. And, hey, don't forget, we mentioned it at the beginning of the episode, we are starting a new podcast, launching with 2 episodes. 2 episodes?
That means you're getting this episode today, and in just a couple more days, you're getting 2 more. So if you are one of the 5 people in the world that really enjoys listening to us, this is about to be your week.
Yep. Yeah, get ready. Out of the Loop. Follow us on Instagram, OOTL Pod. We are premiering next week with a double feature, Rocky and Legally Blonde.
Yes.
And
2 equally great movies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think that's Brian. Other than thanking the man.
The man.
I think that.
God, I can't wait for people to hear his new theme song.
Guys, there is a new Brian Hey Guys Wakefield song for Out of the Loop, and it's so fucking good. I cannot wait to share it with you guys.
I'm so pumped.
He did it again. You
keep thinking, yeah, he couldn't possibly have any more bops in him, and he always does.
He always does. He was doing it on our old wrestling podcast, and he's been doing it on this podcast.
Yeah. Thank God we have creative friends.
Master of his craft. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Brian Hey Guys Wakefield, BrianWakefieldMusic.com. Check him out.
Healer to all, great and small.
Mm-hmm. And I guess that's about it, right? That's the plugs.
It.
That's all.
I want to know
plugs that are.
I want to know on the social medias. We're gonna be. I think we need to be doing polls when this comes out because I want to know what people's favorite teen dramas were.
All right. We'll ask the people. We'll go to the people. We'll take it to the streets. Yeah,
I want to hear. We'll do man on the street interviews.
Sounds good.
Perfect. Justin,
you do that.
I think you know what song we're going to end this on. And I want you to go ahead and... Can you get us started? We had 2 babies. One more city for the two.
Stay cool, guys.
Now, will it be?